They drink blood. They fear the sun. They live forever, hiding in castles or coffins, waiting for nightfall. But these aren't just legends.
It is him, the creature who plagues us!
Across history, entire villages believed that vampires were real, and they took extreme measures to stop them. So, were vampires just mythological monsters, or were they once flesh and blood? Long before Dracula, the fear of the undead was already deeply rooted in cultures across the world. In ancient Mesopotamia, the demon Lilitu, a female spirit, was said to prey on infants and drink blood. The Greeks spoke of Lamia, a cursed woman who devoured children, and in Eastern Europe, stories of strigoi and moroi, souls of the dead that rose to torment the living, spread like wildfire. Vampires weren't born in fiction, they were born in fear. The 18th century saw a wave of mass hysteria. Across Serbia, Hungary, and Romania, people genuinely believed vampires were rising from the dead. Graves were opened, bodies were mutilated, and these weren't isolated events. Governments documented them, even royal courts sent officials to investigate. Why? Because the dead weren't staying dead. Villagers reported seeing recently deceased relatives wandering at night, followed by strange illnesses, drained livestock, and sudden deaths. In 1725, a man named Peter Plogojowitz died in a small Serbian village, but within days, 9 people claimed he visited them at night. All 9 died, mysteriously. The villagers were so terrified, they dug up Peter's grave. They found his body, fresh, with blood on his lips. So they did what vampire lore demanded. They drove a stake through his heart, then burned him. Here's what we think really happened. Many of these vampire outbreaks coincided with tuberculosis epidemics. TB caused pale skin, sunken eyes, weakness, and blood at the mouth. It spread silently and killed quickly, especially among families. To villagers, it looked like the dead were feeding off the living. With no knowledge of germs, they blamed the undead. Another likely culprit? Rabies. It causes light sensitivity, hydrophobia, aggression, confusion, and biting. Victims often attacked others and died quickly. And guess what? Rabies is spread through bites. Sound familiar? But what about someone who wanted to drink blood? Enter Countess Elizabeth Báthory, a 16th century Hungarian noblewoman accused of killing over 600 girls and bathing in their blood to preserve her youth. Was she history's most brutal serial killer? Or a powerful woman framed by political enemies? Either way, she inspired vampire legends for centuries. Even in America, vampire belief took root. In 19th century New England, tuberculosis caused similar panic. Families believed their dead relatives were draining life from the living. They opened graves and burned hearts to stop the so-called vampires. The most famous case? Mercy Brown, a young girl whose corpse was exhumed and desecrated to save her brother. Today, a subculture of real-life vampires exists. Some claim to feed on blood, others on psychic energy. They're not monsters, just people who feel incomplete without it. For them, vampirism is a belief, a ritual, and sometimes an identity. So, were vampires ever real? Not in the way Hollywood tells us, but in the minds of terrified villagers, desperate families, and misunderstood patients, vampires were alive. Their myth helped explain the unexplainable. And maybe that's why they'll never truly die. From myth to madness, science to superstition, vampires have fed on human fear for thousands of years. And maybe that's the scariest part of all. Thanks for watching. If mysteries like this bite into your curiosity, hit that subscribe button, only here on The Question Central.